just give a couple more minutes to publish the link for the translation on a Facebook group. And I need to turn off the vibration on the phone. Okay. Oh, mosquitoes. Okay, we will share. Okay. Post made. Just a second. Today I will tell about the Eurovision bike exhibition. It just finished today. The ride. Wait, I want to see the. How was my ride? My ride was great. Oh, I was driving every day, minimum 200 kilometers with the car. Okay, the files are sent from the phone, so I will connect the headset. I hope you can hear me better with the headset. So today was the 7th day when I drive my car in the morning for 200 kilometers minimum or more. And today I came back from the exhibition. Eurobike, for those who don't know, this is the biggest bike show in Europe. Last year it was cancelled because of COVID. So the previous time it happened was 2 years ago. And there are many, of course, bike shows in Europe, but this is like the biggest one. This year was different. This year was much smaller. There were almost no people from Asia, like small Chinese and Taiwanese companies were not present this time. Also, very little people from US, I guess because of the COVID restrictions. So today I prepared something interesting for you. I will tell about some interesting stuff that I took from a Eurobike. And yeah, I was there 2 days, yesterday and today. And today was the last day. Was a great show. Thank you, organizers, for such an event. And just give me a second. I want to see the pictures that I made on the phone. I will see if I can show it somehow as well. I think it should be possible. Or in the worst case, I will just show you my screen. So let's start with some very interesting stuff. Can you see it? Yeah. You know the Nikolai brand, it's a European brand with owner, his surname is Nikolai. They produce high quality bikes, and I saw a very interesting model. It looked like this. So the bike made out of aluminum. It will have mid-drive motor. It will have how much power they said? Something like 15 kilowatt. They think they will do it street legal version, and they will have it. This bike will have a pedals and so on, but very interesting is the price. The price will be 13,000 euro with the pedals. Without pedals, it will be 11,500 euro, and without registration and pedals, it will be 10,000 euro. So here you have a alternative to vector e-bike, which some people say very expensive. Here you have 2 times more expensive electric bike from Nikolai. Here, yeah, there was a very. I'm looking at this. There were many companies that offer GPS trackers for the bikes, so you can monitor where is your bike in any moment, or you can put it for the security, and then if somebody touch your bike, it will send you a signal to your phone or any other device. I think they just do it in the cloud, and you can monitor it from any device, iOS or Android platform. For those who just join us, we are talking today about the Eurobike exhibition, which finished just today. There was a lot of interesting stuff. This is nothing special. What's this? Exactly. This is one of the company I was talking you about before, about the device that can track your bike in any moment of time. There was a Bafan company. For those of you who are interested in DIY, this is a good company. I talked with the head of sales department, Chris, is a very cool guy, and they have some new products. Generally speaking, they have a better parameters, at least on the paper, than Shimano or Bosch, but they cost much less. So think about this. For those of you who are interested in some small low power bikes, because they don't produce components over 2 kilowatt, I guess. This is also something interesting. I have a lot of business cards, which probably won't give you any information. So I think I will tell you about some interesting products and bikes that I saw. Just a second. Okay, there was some technical. Can I switch it for the rear view? I guess so. Just a second. So here was. Let me turn off this light. Nope, doesn't happen. Okay, maybe like this. This is devices I made a picture with. So this is the screenshots. Some internals. Some companies that produce the connectors, but that's the problem. Most of the e-bike components manufacturers, they produce components for 250 watt bikes, and when they hear when I say that our bike can do 10 kilowatt peak, they have these big eyes and they have not too many options for us. Just a second, I'll look ahead. Something interesting. Okay, let's see. So there are some companies that are specialized on a frame manufacturing, and here you can see the frame made out of steel. They specialized on the motorcycles, especially frame, but the quality of the welds is not so good, I would say. But yeah, it still was interesting. Then some rear lights, front lights, components, maybe for future to try. Some connectors that were interested for me. So this is a brand that we work already in a partnership with. So then there was a brand with dropper posts, which are wireless, so there is no any cable, electronically operated. Then there was a stand of Supernova. This is a European manufacturer of the lights, front and rear. basically I didn't see any new model. I tested those lights, very good quality lights, but the price is high. I guess you can say that the price is high for every good product, but I would say the lights that we install on the bikes now give maybe even more lights, maybe not that clear lines, but in terms of lights, they provide enough. So different brackets, connections. Then I visited the Magura stand to see what they have. Also, nothing new from 2 years ago. Pretty much they had those brakes for maybe 2 or 3 years already. You see the retail price of the brakes, 140 euro, and this is without the rotor. So more or less same price that we have for Tektro, I would say. Yeah, they showed this 220 millimeters rotor. Although I talked with some people over there, and they agree with me that more or less it's just the marketing, tricks with increase of the rotor, because 200 millimeter, with especially for piston brakes, should be enough in any situations, more or less. Yep, that was interesting stand from Switzerland. Yeah, they made it like a moon mission. Did you know that people from Switzerland landed on moon? Me neither. That's a bike from Nikolai, but not the one I told you about. It's another model. I think they have a motor from Bosch, or I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a nice bike, but it's a standard electric bicycle, 250 watt. And this is the model I told you at the beginning. So this will be 15 kilowatt or more, as they told me. I guess the battery can be removable over here. The motor located over here. The suspension was specially designed for this bike. So this is the owner of the company. This is another bike without like paint, in a raw aluminum. Look very great. So amazing bikes. I think this bike was something like 12,000 or 11,000, more or less. So yeah, prices are very attractive. Yeah, then this powerful bike again. KMC stand. Yeah, nothing special, nothing new actually. So I just made a picture of those bike chain necklaces. Then Alligator brand from Taiwan had some accessories, but like plastic covers that should protect your front or rear rotor. I'm not very sure how long they will work, how they will survive if you fall on them or some rock hits them. But anyway, interested. Also, they had the rotors, 220 millimeters. Then Kenda stand, and I will switch here back to me to tell you more about Kenda. They had a stand, but not many, I guess, not much new products. And in general, this Eurobikes was not too many tires manufacturers, maybe 4 or 5, when usually I guess 2 years ago I were more than like 15 from India, Vietnam, different countries where they produce the latex mostly. because here the manufacturing is basically mostly based where you can source the materials for those tires. And talking back about the Kenda brand, they had the tires, no new models, and I asked them about the situation in the world with I will come back for the questions just a little bit later. And they said the problem is in countries where they produce the tires, like Vietnam. The law is if there is only one worker on the factory who had confirmed case of corona, the whole company should go for shutdown for like 2 weeks. So yeah, they have a big problem in manufacturing, and that's why we bought everything we could from our suppliers. Right now we have enough tires, but for some sizes we're still waiting delivery. But I don't think the situation will be finished soon in the world. I'm talking about tires, and this situation happened with different brands, not just Kenda. So let's come back. Let's return back to the photos. I will show you the rest. Of course, there was many other brands and things that I didn't make a photo or videos because they just not very interested for me. Many brands just show the e-bikes that change one to another with a label, you know, and there were like 20 of manufacturers having the same size, same type of frame with the same Bosch or Shimano motor with just a different label. So I don't see a point to talk about those. There was an interesting concept about the light from, I believe it's from T-Mobile or something like this. It's also the light with integrated SIM card, which can send the location to your phone. Some phone holders with optimal sizes for all the phones, where you can remove phone pretty fast. I think I will order to try them. Some helium, hydrogen cell batteries. So this is the internals of Shimano motor. You can see that the motor itself is just this part on the left. The rest of the components is the gearbox for the pedaling and for the motor as well. So here you get 250 motor, here on the left, and the rest is the gearbox basically. This is something new. The company won innovation in the lightning. Here is just a picture, but I also made a video. I will explain about it later. So it's basically a stabilizer. Let me remove the style. Oh, sorry. So I need to remove the stylus from my phone. Yeah, here. So here you have the light that basically you have on your bike, and the top line light is the one that stabilized with a special equipment basically. It's a small description: electronically controlled falling steering movement. The system always maintains a horizontal line. Dark out of line, the light field does not tilt down to the left or right when leaning the bike into a curve. So one interesting concept, and they said it should work with other lights as well. We'll see, but they plan to start sales next year, so we need to wait for this. Here are some rear lights with here's the Suntour forks, nothing new. As I said, I think most of the I will switch to me. Most of the manufacturers, they are not interested into making something new now. I still have a badge from the Eurobike for testing the bikes. And yeah, most of the manufacturers are not interested on doing something new because there is a big demand on the market and big waiting time. So if you can sell and produce what you already had, there is no point from manufacturing perspective on to do something new, some new models, which you're not sure about the demand as well. So the Suntour forks, let me scroll forward to see if there is anything else. Yep. Okay. We'll switch back. Here's a Suntour, which the model is, I guess, like 3 or 4 years old, so nothing interesting. Then there were some speakers. This was interesting. So let's look at this without me. That was a e-bike / snow bike. If you look closely here on the back, there is a caterpillar for the snow and ski on front. You can push the pedals here. There is an electric motor somewhere and it's just push. There are also brakes, but I think the brakes work just stopping the caterpillar there. Yeah, very interesting concept. Yeah, you need to be in a mask during the whole time in the exhibition, so it was a bit annoying. RST brand, the fork manufacturer from Taiwan, is the same, nothing new. Very nice pink bikes if you're interested. What was this? Okay, that was a company, Kinderney, I guess. Let me see. No. So basically, what they produce, it's a hub planetary gearbox, which won the award winner on a Eurobike. So it's compatible with rear brake disc with a belt drive, but it also can be for chain, and it can survive up to 160 Newton meters. Interesting product, but I guess it's not strong enough for our purposes. This is something interesting that I liked. The package for the bike delivery. We took the contact, so maybe we talked with them about this. This was interesting. Let me see. I think this is more clear picture here. So you have handlebars over here on top, and then you have a underwater wing, 1, 2, steering wheel. The question, what's the delivery time to Finland? The delivery time to Finland is 1 week. And it's all depend where you live. If you live in a big city like Helsinki, maybe even less. If you live in some village far from Helsinki, maybe more than 1 week. Another question, can you make a video how to install Gnmusd fork? Yeah, we can't make this video, but it's very easy. You just put the headset and then you put the fork into the headset. That's pretty much it. I don't see what can go wrong here. Yeah, so that was so-called Manta bike for water riding. You have a seat over here, normal bicycle seat. I didn't see it in motion, but it was an interesting concept. And then after exhibition, I drove to one of our client, is my friend in Switzerland. Let me find some other pictures. In general, I'm happy with the exhibition, but for me it was, easy because I live 200 kilometers more or less from exhibition, so to jump into the car and 2-hour drive and I'm there is not something like everyone have to do to get to this exhibition. And on the parking, I saw very big number of cars from Germany, from Austria, from Switzerland, and not too many cars from other countries. Like comparing to the exhibition 2 years ago, there were so many cars all around from all around Europe, even from like Russia or my home country Ukraine. And yeah, this year I guess 2 out of 3 cars were from Germany, Austria, or Switzerland. So yeah, I guess it's all because of COVID, of course, but let me see what else I can show you. Tell about the second day I spent mostly with testing some other bikes in a demo area. The demo area was also, I guess, 4 or 5 times smaller than it was 2 years ago. So I hope next year the exhibition will be back in the sizes as it was a couple years ago. So what to see? What to see? We can close this. I have something for you. Just a second. I'm not sure it will open. Come on. My computer stuck. But generally in the demo areas was Daniel Makalski, is a guy who doing crazy tricks with his e-bike, with a normal bike, and we made a short video with him. Just a second. Will it play?
Hello guys.
Yeah, I will show you. Here it is. Let me scroll it.
Hello guys. It was an amazing show on Eurobike. Thank you for everybody.
Hope you enjoyed it. Keep on riding.
Thank you. Hello guys.
Oh.
It was an amazing show.
So back to me. Yeah, it was a great show, but again, if I would not be 200 kilometers away, I would probably not go there. So, yep, that was my information about one more bike I wanted to tell about. So maybe you can watch it later. It was Cake bike from Sweden, and it has a mid-drive motor. It's street legal, so it's 4 kilowatt nominal power. I'm not sure nominal or peak, but it was written 4 kilowatt on the motor. Yeah, I don't know exact price for this one, but it was made in collaboration with Frozen, the design topic. Yeah, we tested this bike a little bit. It's relatively quiet because it has a Gates carbon drive system, but the motor itself emits some noise. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to tell you about the exhibition that's happened the last 4 days. So let's answer the questions that we had under our previous Q&A video. Just a second. I saw you left some questions, so we will seize it. Okay. There was a question about the motor, but I answered that. There was a comment that the motor that we use in Vortex is in-runner. It is false. It is a hub motor, but we just install it as without the spokes on it. So it's not in-runner motor. And the windings are located inside and they are not moving. So the rotor has a magnet and not the copper windings. If somebody were interested into this, but I'm just answering the questions that we have under the video. So the whole theory about the better heat dissipation because of this is false, because initially the motor design is not like this person said in his comment. Yeah. So that's it. I think we will finish this Q&A now. I'm a bit tired after 2 days of Eurobike. I still have a lot of work to do with all the informations I gathered that will be interested. I need to contact all those people with goodies for you guys, and perhaps you will hear from me more about the some products that we tested and we liked. There were a company that produced the lubrication and some other liquids for the bike, for the chain, fork, headsets, and bottom brackets. So they made in Germany. It's a family business, very nice company. Yeah, the bike show was useful for me as a business owner, but of course I wanted more. And again, next year Eurobike will be happening in Frankfurt. For those of you who are interested, it will be in I believe in July. You can check it on the website of Eurobike for those who lives in Europe and think to visit it next year. In US should be the Interbike, but I'm not sure. Maybe this year it was also cancelled. So you can check it. Perhaps, most likely it was cancelled due to the COVID. There's something else I wanted to say. Yeah, I took my bikes with me, but there was no time and too much interest from my side to show it on the exhibition. It's not. It's probably a motorbike exhibition or motorbike show is a right place to show our bikes, because all the bikes that we saw and tested, some manufacturers claim, oh, it's a high power bike, be careful, and I sit on it and it's barely moving with 500 watts comparing what we have up to 10 kilowatts. So yeah, there was no too much public interest for this kind of high power e-bikes, so I didn't show it on exhibition. Maybe I will upload the video from a night ride, because between the yesterday and today, as I said, I went to Switzerland and we had some nice ride with one client in the mountains. I need to upload this video and to see in which quality it is, because we recorded it in completely night. It was midnight, so the whole lighting situation. I think it's the first video that I recorded from a night ride. So it will be interesting for those who don't have the bike and interested how is it to ride with just a bike light. If you, for example, don't have time to ride the bike during the day, or you need to work until the sun is shining, and the only time you have to ride is in the evening, and you are not sure if it's going to be enough. I should say that if you ride with a bike from us and you have our front light, and additionally you will install some good quality light on your helmet, this will be enough to ride safely, off-road. We were riding without any helmet light, but because we were two, I installed my light angle, made it a bit further light line, and another rider put his light a bit down faced, so closer to us, and this way we had like covered two angles, and the whole way, so to say, was covered. And yeah, it was great short ride, and I will try to upload it to the channel on the weekend, if it's gonna be, of course, some quality pictures there. Okay, that's it. I don't want to make it too long, and I'm a bit tired. You probably can hear my voice. Maybe next Q&A I will have more information about some of the brands that I talked to or visited, and maybe I will share with you this information. What else? Yeah, I attended one lecture about the e-bike batteries. So basically, the lecture, the professor said that it's from their research is much better if you charge battery to 60 and then discharge it to 0, rather than charge it to 100 and use it to 0, of course. But I explained to him that with the battery going to 0, you cannot use a full range of power, and if you charge it just to 60, you may be in a situation where you don't have enough range and you still want to enjoy and ride more. So it's very relative. Maybe for the car, if your total range is, let's say, 300 kilometers, and you know that for the next 2 or 3 days you don't need to go anywhere far, then keep the battery in your electric car at 60% is a very realistic situation, and discharge it from 60 to 40 and then charge it back to 60. And that's another thing. But yeah, if we talk about bike or phone, I cannot imagine charging my phone just to 60%. It will die in the middle of the day, and I'm not always next to the wall socket with my charger to sit there for 10-15 minutes to charge it back. So what I can say is technologies are developing, and hopefully in a couple of years we will have batteries with much bigger capacity and much faster charge rate and what is important to be even safer than they are now. But reality is reality. We need to take it as it is, and let's hope that we can figure out something um, to make some nice and fun with what we have now. In general, he talked about the importance of having smart BMS on the bike, which monitor not only voltage but internal resistance and temperature and other factors, which I agree. Not every expensive bike batteries having smart BMS, and especially if we talk about some Chinese-made um, cheap bikes, their battery are far from being safe, and he talked about many fires happening in Europe. He was from Denmark, and he said, like in Denmark, it's almost every month you can see a news in the newspaper that something burned, and it happened because of the cheap e-bike batteries. Because the manufacturers don't want to invest any extra dollar into the R&D and developing a safer system, which I understand. If you need to sell something which your which another company can do a couple dollars cheaper, you lose already. But hopefully the mind of the buyer will be on on this topic as well when they make choice, and they will think about the safety as well. So you always vote with your dollar which product to buy, and you need to think, do you want to have a safe product or you want to have a cheap product? Because it's yeah, Bob, you see, like, garage fire happened by a cheap Chinese e-bike. That's the situation, some e-bike. What this lecturer said, it was very interesting, and actually he said that he will share with me the lecture presentation so I can show it to you guys. I hope it will be also useful for somebody. He said that some Chinese companies, they use the cheapest BMS possible, which can just which should cut the power during the charge and the discharge on the highest and lowest parameters. But sometimes the BMS can be broken during the installation, so it's basically always on, and you cannot understand even that the BMS is broken until fire happens, because from the factory you see that, okay, BMS provide power, then battery working, everything should be fine. But it can be that already in this moment the BMS is broken and you just have a straight contact from the battery cells to the controller or any other, or charger, whatever, and the BMS won't do a thing if the situation happened where the BMS should cut the power. So yeah, I will share with you this presentation, but he said it also won't happen in the next couple of days, a bit later. So that's it. Thank you for your attention. That was a short Q&A, short 44 minutes Q&A about the Eurobike. I remind it's the biggest bicycle show in Europe, which happens once a year. And the previous time it happened 2 years ago. Due to the COVID, it was cancelled last year. And 2 years ago, it was maybe 2 times bigger, with 2.5, 3 times more people, visitors for sure. So yeah, but industry is in hard times now because of the problem with price increase for the raw materials, plastic, metal, rubber, everything goes skyrocket up 2-3 times compared to prices 2 years ago. And yeah, people are not ready to pay 2 times more for the bike. And I can understand the salaries didn't increase for the past 2 years 2 or 3 times. And that's why we have the situations, like I said, it's very important for manufacturers to keep the price low, and they need to sacrifice sometimes some parts. And here can be a situation when they sacrifice something that more or less connected to safety. So let's hope for the best. Next year the exhibition will be in Frankfurt. If you have any questions about the exhibition, or you have some questions about some bikes that were there, you can leave it under this video in the comment section, and I will always, as always, answer your questions in the next Q&A, which will happen as always at Friday 8 p.m. Central European Time. So see you next time, and thank you for being with me and watching together. Bye bye.